to MD Quilter Knits. I'm Beth and I'm your host today. Today is actually a Monday. I just got home from work. It is Monday, June the 29th. I am coming to you from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and it is a beautiful day out today. We finally got summer, so it's a little warm out. I am just getting home from work, so I did not go crazy with my makeup. I normally dress up a little more for you, but I just wanted to get this podcast recorded because it's been a while since I've sat down and chatted with you. Yeah, so it's the end of June. It is also the day after the Zombie Knit Apocalypse 2020 at home retreat. It was a virtual retreat this year. I finally was able to attend because it was a virtual retreat, and I had so much fun getting to know people through Zoom chats. Yeah, so had a great time. I got a lot of knitting done, but some of it I can't show you, sadly. But yeah, so why don't we get into things? Today I have some finished objects, and I also have a couple of works in progress, and I have some upcoming cast-ons, things that I'm going to be casting on soon. So without further ado, let's get to it. Finished object number 1. It's been a while, so let's talk about my May Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. I didn't get to show you these finished, but here they are. As always, it's the heel toe do-si-do pattern by Kay Litton, the Crazy Sock Lady. The colorway is Malta. I did an afterthought heel cut in using a tutorial by Kirby Werby, which is available on Instagram. These sock blockers are super fun. They're from Wild Stitchers. Learned about them watching the Knit Girls podcast, and they actually are adjustable. Isn't that neat? So these will adjust. This is the large size, so these will adjust out from, I think, a woman's 10 out to, I'm not sure what, but you can find them at Wild Stitchers. I believe they're on Etsy. There's a close-up of their logo. Yeah. All right. One FO down. The other finished object I have here to show you is my Habitation throw. I actually finished it. This is the Habitation throw. It is a pattern by Helen Stewart, who is Curious Handmaids. And let's start at the beginning. I started right here and moved across. This was worked from corner to corner all the way to the end here. And the last time I showed this on the podcast, I was right here. So I actually knit since the last podcast this whole section. So from here, from right here to right here. I'm super happy with how this turned out. The yarn is by Goosey Fibres in the Goosey sock base, which is 75% merino, 25% nylon. And this was her 2019 Advent kit, which is all wizarding spells, inspiring all the colorways. Yeah, so that will be living here on the yarn room love seat. I'll fold it up later. So the other finished object, I think I might have told you that this was finished, maybe even shown it to you. I'm not sure if I've shown you a finished object picture of this, but you're going to get to see it again. This is, actually, I would not have shown it to you because the pattern hadn't been released yet. So this is La Sororite. I know I just butchered that French and I apologize, but it's the La Sororite top by Kate Oates. It is a nice chevron pattern. It is knit in 2 pieces. So you knit the back, then you knit the front, seam up the sides. There's a nice I-cord detailing going on here that is actually worked into the pattern. And I will pop in a picture of me wearing this so that you can see what it truly looks like. I used United yarn by Queensland, and it's in actually 4 different colors. There is one more colorway down here. So some grays, and then this pretty orange color. Yeah. So super happy with how that finished up. The other thing that I finished is I finished the, I'm not sure what it's being called, but it was a shawl / cowl piece that I did as a sample for my local knit store, or local yarn shop, sorry, Knits and Pieces in Annapolis. And I'll pop in a picture of it. The yarns that I used are, the dark green is Magpie Fibres Domestic Fingering in the Swamp Thing colorway. And then the next color is Chartreuse colorway. That's the lighter green in Pretty Nitty fingering weight. And then the final color that I used is actually from Ching Fiber Company. And that is in the Daffodil colorway, and it's the Melted Surrey Alpaca by Ching. So yeah, I'll post a picture of it up here. And yeah, that came out really nice. I was very happy with it. I love how it blocked out. And yeah, so they're selling kits for that if you are interested in checking that out and maybe knitting your own. So yeah, so those I think are all of my finished objects since I talked to you last. I would have had another finished object, except for, you're going to see it in a minute. I wound up actually having to rip out my entire DK weight VBack tee because the gauge decided to play tricks on me, and it wound up being way too big. So I ripped it back, went down a needle size, and I'm really a lot happier with how it's turning out now. So yeah, so let's move into whips, I guess. I'll move into that one first. It's in my bag from Stitch Mischief. There we go. Finch bag with the sweater fabric. And what we have so far is right here. So this is the DK Weight VBack tee. I've actually moved into my 4th color. I've faded that in. I have split for the sleeves here. So yeah, so we're moving right along with that. Hoping to have that done soon. All right. And my next work in progress. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the yarns are by Goosey Fibres in the Squish DK base. Next work in progress is in my Hohi BA bag. And this is my June Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. And I have until tomorrow night to put the heels in. I have 2 finished tubes. Yay. Once again, doing the heel toe do-si-do pattern. And this is Desert Vista Dyeworks in the Viso base. And the colorway is Care Zombare. I think that's what it's called. Let's double check that. Oh, Care Zombody Bears. Very close. All right. So that is what is on the needles right now. I also have on the needles, I'm working on a sample for Magpie Fibres, but I can't show it to you The only thing that I can show you is the main color yarn. And this is Magpie Fibres in the Nest Worsted. And this is the Twilight Heather. This is their medium color fiber, the gray, excuse me, the gray color fiber, and in the natural state. So it's undyed. And oh my God, it feels wonderful. This is 100% non-superwash Corriedale. And it is amazing. I love this yarn. And I can't wait to knit myself a sweater with this yarn. But this is the main color. And I won't be able to show you that until after the pattern is released, which should be mid-July. All right. So, I guess we can go through my acquisitions. It's been over a month since we last chatted, so I have a few. I've got some pre-orders, some club stuff, some bags, some special yarn that was part of a special trunk show that was done online. So yeah, let's just get into it. In no particular order. I think what I'll show you actually is I'll show you the yarns that are not going to be cast on right away. So we'll start with something crinkly. If you remember back in February, my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks were done using the Rom-Com Bingo Kit. Well, Desert Vista Dyeworks decided to do a summer movie bingo. And here's the yarns, or the mini skeins. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm not sure what month I'm gonna do for these. Maybe August. Be like a summer, you know, end of summer deal. I think that'll be fun. Okay, next. Area 51 Fibres, which is a Canadian dyer. I've shown you some of their yarns before, and I decided to order some more of their yarn because they just do a beautiful job. So I was looking through the site one day, and she was doing a Willy Wonka colorway. And she had a cute little yarn basket to go with it. So I'm always one for a little package deal. So I ordered Scrumdiddlyumptious. And this is a self-striping with rainbow and brown. So it's like that beautiful chocolate river in Willy Wonka. But then we have an Oompa Loompa bag. Really. And on the inside of the Oompa Loompa bag is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory fabric. This is so stinking cute. And it has snaps at the top instead of a zipper or a drawstring. It snaps. Nice boxed bottom, so it'll sit up nicely. So yeah, so we have Scrumdiddlyumptious and the Oompa Loompa bag. But I couldn't just order that because, you know, that yarn might get lonely coming across the border by itself. So I ordered some rainbow sheep. Aren't they cute? Really looking forward to casting this on as well. All right, and then my pre-order from McMullin Fiber Company. Every 2 months, McMullin Fiber Company does basically a wholesale pricing for sweater lots. And they decided to do this beautiful color called Rainy Days. Look at those colors. Look at that. Look. It's getting washed out a little bit, but look at the speckles. Oh, absolutely beautiful. And I fell in love with this colorway, so I had to order this. I ordered it on their Merino Sport, which is 100% superwash merino, about 280 yards per skein. And I'm going to knit Hohi's newest cabled sweater with this, and I can't remember what the name of the sweater is offhand. I will insert it here as well as a picture of the sweater. But I think this is going to be just gorgeous for that sweater. Really looking forward to that. All right. Next up. So, Jessica Ruth Knits, she has a podcast, Jessica, and she does some destashes periodically. And I could not pass up this skein of Beetlejuice from Mustache Yarn. Look at those scummy greens. I just love those olivey scummy green colors. They're just me. So we got this, and then I just was drawn to this skein of Knitted Wit in these bright speckles. I have no idea what this is gonna be. It might wind up being paired up into a fade of some sort. Who knows? Those are from Jessica. And then there's another destash account on Instagram called Apron Addict, and she always has something fun. And back during the election 4 years ago, Desert Vista Dyeworks did a colorway during the election called Rainbow Pantsuits, and it's a retired color now, and I have been on the lookout, and I was so excited when I looked into the Apron Addicts destash, and there was a skein of Rainbow Pantsuits. I mean, really. This is the happiest, brightest colorway ever, and it's inspired by Hillary Clinton's rainbow of colorful pantsuits. And I just love it. So yeah. So that's mine. What else do we have in here? Okay, so the Hug Shot is a pattern that Casapinka developed for National Hug Your Pet Week. So it's done, she put it together to help people, or to help indie dyers, you know, really spotlight them. So I bought a couple skeins of Undercover Otter. Look at this color. It's called Wicked Little Things. Look at those speckles. And this one's called Unreturned. That nice pumpkin-y color. That's going to be a fun shawl to knit. Tell you. All right. Uh-oh. I'm going to have a avalanche over here. All right. And then Lauren from Valkyrie Fibres was kind enough to do a virtual trunk show for the F This Knit Patreon. And I was on there and I saw this gorgeous Bubblegum Nightmare colorway. Look at those speckles on that bubblegum pink. Oh, it is not a nightmare. It is gorgeous. So I got a couple skeins of that. And then I matched it up at my local yarn shop with this gorgeous Rowan Kid Silk Haze. Oh. And this is going to become the Rocket Tee. That's what that will be one day. I have not cast it on because I just have not had any time to work on that project. So it has not been cast on. Originally, I was going to participate in the knit along that was happening with my local yarn shop, but I just couldn't do it. And the other thing that Lauren from Valkyrie Fibres did is she developed a colorway that is affectionately named after the Patreon tier level that was able to attend this virtual trunk show. But because I'm a family-friendly podcast, I am not going to say what the color name is. However, I will show the label. So if you are easily offended, you might want to look away. But there's the colorway. That is the name. Yeah. So let me show you what the colorway looks like. It is this beautiful robin's egg blue / teal with some purpley speckles. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. So I bought this. I bought a few skeins of this to do the sorrel sweater, the summer sorrel sweater, which is the short sleeve t-shirt version in fingering weight. And it does not have mohair held with it. So yeah, so that I've got a couple of sweaters that are going to be happening using Lauren's yarn. Then the other thing that I have gotten is I joined the Harry Potter Blanket Club through Nora George Yarns. I joined this before all of the craziness happened with J.K. Rowling. But you know what? I'm okay with having this yarn that's inspired by Harry Potter because I know none of it is going to J.K. Rowling. She won't get another dime of mine, but that's another story. So this is the Harry Potter Blanket Club. And basically I get a skein of the Gray Lady, which is this beautiful pale gray with speckles in fingering weight. And then these beautiful mini skeins. Look at these minis. Aren't they beautiful? Look at those. And this month is inspired by the professors of Hogwarts. So what we have here for the teachers, this is Sybil Trelawney. And then we have Minerva McGonagall, Professor McGonagall. And then we have Pomona Sprout. And then we have Rubius Hagrid, of course, and Severus Snape. So the idea is each month I'll get a whole skein of fingering weight and 5 mini skeins that I can hold together, and what I'm probably going to be doing is the brioche chevron blanket, which means that I will use this throughout and then these minis. Because everybody needs a brioche blanket. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Next up. From Rising Tide Fiber Company, we have the June colorway called Strawberry Wine. And the inspiration is, I believe, the song Strawberry Wine, but I'm not positive. I'll put it down below here. And also the May colorway, which is Breakfast with Pink Champagne. And I'm not sure if I showed you this last time. If not, if I did, you're seeing it again. Look at those speckles. If not, you're seeing it for the first time. Oh, Cabana Club. Love it. And while we're talking about Rising Tide Fiber Company, I'm sure you all have heard about the soundtrack sweater, which is the 4-day knit along that Olive Knits, who is Marie Green, is doing in July. It's a nice yoked pullover, top down, pretty easy construction. And these are my colors. It's gonna blow it way out. So this is my main color. This color is called Dirty Deeds, and this is on her Calvert DK base. And I told Melissa that I wanted this as my main color, and I let her pick my contrasting color, which she picked Azalea, which is this highlighter pink, and this is going to be a gorgeous sweater. This will be getting cast on Friday. Not sure if I'll finish it within the knit along time frame, which is the month of July, but I just love it, and I'm really looking forward to having this finished sweater for the winter. All right, so we are now into what's going to be coming onto my needles, what's jumping on soon. So the soundtrack sweater is going to be jumping on very soon. Also, I joined a test knit for with Jamie Hoffman, who is Knitosophy. And I'm missing one of my colors, I do believe. I wonder where it went. Maybe I only have one skein of that one and I've wound it up already. Okay, so the sweater is called the Rattlesnake Pullover, and it's a really cool colorwork design. And I am going to be knitting it using Jamie's yarns, or using Jamie's pattern. The yarns are from Less Traveled Yarn. There we go. And this is on the DK base, which is 75% merino, 25% nylon. And this color is Do Me a Solid. And this color is Hot Pants. So we start with Hot Pants, and that's going to be the main colorwork color throughout the yoke. And then the top part of the yoke is going to be the Do Me a Solid. And then we'll work into this beautiful yellow that is called Amber, or gold that is called Amber. And then the main body is this beautiful speckle, which is called Lip Smackers. I'll let you look at that speckle. So this is basically how the colorwork progression will go. And there's some really pretty colorwork motifs on this sweater. So I'm really looking forward to casting that on. That will be cast on very soon because that sweater needs to be finished by the end of July. And for now, it is living in this bag. Ooh, it's got some crazy lint on it. This pretty bag from, oh, I can't remember what the name of the company is called. And she doesn't have a tag on here, I don't think. Oh, yes, she does. Ha, Ellison Lane. And she's actually changed her shop name, and I can't remember what it is. I will look it up and let you know, though. Put it down on the bottom. It looks like a holiday bag, but it's fun and bright, so it's not a holiday bag. All right, I think we've got two more, soon, three more. Two more, soon to be cast on. So I was chosen to test knit a sweater for a new book that's coming out from Pom Pom magazine, or Pom Pom Publications, and it is a raglan sweater book. So I was chosen to test knit one of the patterns, and I decided that I'm going to try out Briggs and Little Regal, which is a Canadian yarn, and this is a worsted weight. This is the copper colorway. And I think it's going to make a beautiful sweater. It's a nice toothy, rustic yarn, and I really think it's going to show off the pattern, the texture pattern of the sweater that I'll be knitting. And this sweater is also needs to be finished by the end of July. Yeah, July. This month is coming up in a couple of days. So yeah, nice sheepy smell. All right, the last sweater that's going to be going on the needles sometime soon, but I just recently got the yarn for it, is another sample for Magpie Fibres. And it's another secret test knit, but the yarns are too beautiful not to share. This is a new base that's coming out, new sport weight base that's coming out, and this is in the Twilight Beaver colorway. And it's gotten really blown out there. Now that is very true to its color. It's a beautiful honey brown. And then pairing it with Robin's Egg in the Spin Cycle Dyed in the Wool. So that's, look at those beautiful colors. And they just look beautiful together. So this one's not due until the fall, but I'm going to try to get it back to her as soon as possible because I just don't want it languishing here. Yeah, so that is all the yarn that has come in the last 5 weeks or so since I podcast last. All right, but we have had some new bags come in. Fate's Thread, gotta love her, did a another sale. Gotta love those sales. So we have a Burton bag, and this is a jumbo Burton bag. So it's a nice sweater size. Look at that. See how big that is? Get a sweater in there, easy. So love that. And I got a jumbo Bob Ross as a sloth. Can you see that? Is that not the cutest? And then I ordered a couple more bags that are going to be prizes for knit-alongs. This one is just some pop caps. And then this one is, I'm not shouting, I'm excited. In the bubbles. So these are both the small, like sock size drawstring bags. Decided to pick those up while there was a sale. Giveaway as prizes. All right. And then the last thing that I have as a new acquisition, I think that's the last thing, is Fringe Supply Company did their annual warehouse sale. And I had this in my cart the entire time, and I just waited and waited and waited. And the last day of the sale, it had been reduced insanely. So this is a town bag by Fringe Supply Company that I got for like 1/3 of the price of the town bag normally. It's in the natural color with this like buttery yellow waxed canvas. So it's a cool two-tone to it. And I love my other town bag, so I think this is gonna get a lot of good use. So that makes me very happy. Some water out of my new Pawley Studios mug. Knit tube, K2P2 for her pleasure. I got this during virtual Maryland Sheep and Wool. Yeah, so what else is going on? A little bit of chatter. Like I said, I had the virtual Zombie Knit Apocalypse 2020. That happened over the weekend. So much fun. Now it makes me want to go in person next year even more. So I'm going to hope that I can figure out how to make that happen. Let's see what else. I am in discussions with another podcaster for another knit along. This one would be a shorter term than the year-long hashtag shop the stash first. So working on that. What else is going on in the world? I am back to work full time in the office. So that cuts down on my knitting time, which is a real bummer. I can't think of anything else that's happening. Had some crazy things happening in my house, but they're getting fixed and everything's going to be okay. If you're not participating in the summer sock camp that the Crazy Sock Lady is doing, you should be. Socks are wonderful, and she has free tutorials up on her YouTube page on different ways to do socks. You should definitely join in on that. It's a fun time. Other than that, I can't think of anything. I am just sweater knitting like crazy. Even though it is 90 some degrees here, I am just knitting all the sweaters. That's what I want to do. So I'm knitting sweaters and socks, and that is about it. One day I'll go back to knitting shawls, but for now, sweaters and socks are where I am. So yeah, I think that is all that I have for you tonight. I'm going to try to get this up as soon as I can, but hopefully I'll be podcasting within the next week or two, and I hope you guys come back to see what MD Quilter knits next. Bye-bye.